In a general way, I was talking about individual universal, which are two distinctions of the nature of, we could say, wakefulness. The universal value is unbounded, pure wakefulness, which contains some characteristics that can be emanated from it once it's uncovered. Before I even go further, this is not conceptual. You can't walk out and say, Michael said, or I read where, or yeah, I agree based on the Upanishads, on some thought leader's book. The agreement you would have with me would only be when you isolate the universal field, and more than once. Because in the first go, usually it will only give you one of the characteristics, which would be unconditional love or a peace that you can't describe. People come away from that transcendent experience generally with the words, it's indescribable. Also, it's unfathomable. And yet, ironically, it's unmistakable, meaning it has some familiarity, which it does because it's universal. You've already had it, maybe just in a different form, um, before you entered the human form. So universal, individual are just distinctions of the way Michael is describing things, which is probably different than you've read and different than you've heard. The basis of me describing it that way is my personal experience, not one experience of the isolation, many, many. And that experience lives with me on a daily basis without me trying to access it in any way. It's just there, it's lively, which is also paradoxical. The universal field is not moving, it's unbounded, it's just there, it's omnipresent, hence the word omnipresent in scriptural texts, largely misinterpreted, of course. Mm. You hear me say the divine is everywhere all the time in its full value, which is about the snarkiest way you can say it. For me, that's me stuff. That's my stuff. So this is me talking. Universal field. Mm. Gives rise to manifest creation. That's what it does. Mm. Or you could call it divine. You could call it absolute. Mm. Whatever. There's many different words for it, but it's only a word that's describing the quality of the wakefulness versus if I said universal, then I'd say individual.